Florida, land of mystery and land of beauty. Centuries ago, when Spanish explorers arrived here, they found this place so beautiful, they named it Pascua Florida, Feast of Flowers. Since the time of those early settlers, Florida has changed, and it will never be the way it used to be. During the past few decades, we've changed our land. We've built roads and cities and industries. And because we're going to need more and more places for people, we'll continue to make changes. So our challenge now is to grow within the limits of the natural systems. And if we do, we can preserve much of Florida's wildlife heritage. All animals need four principal things to survive: food, water, living space, and shelter from the environment and from their natural enemies. These things make up what's known as habitat. Different kinds of animals need different kinds of habitats. And here in Florida, we have a variety of lands that offer a home to animals of all kinds. One of our most familiar habitats is the coastal area. Here, giant sea turtles come ashore after dark to lay their eggs on undeveloped beaches. Every summer, huge females like this loggerhead drag themselves out of the water to make their nests. Two months later, tiny young turtles dig their way out of the sand and scramble quickly down to the sea. Another of Florida's characteristic habitats is the freshwater cypress swamp. It offers a home to many kinds of wildlife, including an unusual wading bird called the limpkin. This bird, with its stiff and awkward gait, limps along the banks and shallow waters, searching for the apple snails that make up its main source of food. The limpkin builds its nest close to the water, in bushes or in tall marsh grass. And here in the wetlands, the birds find plenty of snails to feed their young. In all the different kinds of habitats throughout Florida, there are groups of animals and plants that are unique to each area. Together, these animals, plants, and their environment make up what's known as an ecosystem. Here in the pine forest, for example, the gopher tortoise is part of a complex ecosystem that most people never see. The tortoise lives in the piney scrublands of Florida and South Georgia, and through the years it has adapted well to its environment. Here the tortoise finds the special kinds of grasses that it needs for food. In this dry, sandy area, the tortoise makes its home deep in the ground. With its strong front feet, it digs a hole in the cool earth. This dark, damp burrow is the tortoise's home, and it provides a home for other kinds of wildlife too. The rare indigo snake is an endangered species, and without the gopher, it would have fewer places to live. The endangered red cockaded woodpecker shares the pine forest with the gopher tortoise. This small woodpecker makes its nesting and roosting cavities in the oldest pines in the forest, usually those more than 60 years old. Many other animals, such as songbirds and other woodpeckers, flying squirrels and honeybees, live in the red cockaded's cavities too. The woodpecker's habitat is in short supply, because most of the aging pines are cut before they grow old enough for the birds to use. By working together, though, biologists and foresters can leave some of the old trees for the woodpeckers and still harvest plenty of timber. So man's needs can be met without threatening the wildlife of the pine forest. It is possible for us to balance our needs with those of wildlife, but it is not always easy to do. Florida's coastal waterways, for example, are channels for transportation and commerce, as well as areas for recreation. They also provide a home for the manatee, or sea cow. These large, slow-moving mammals are endangered, and without care, they could easily become extinct. Manatees are slow swimmers, much slower than the speeding motorboats that strike many of them each year. But it's not too late to help the manatees. We can do it by simply slowing down in congested waterways. We've already helped a number of other endangered species. For example, only a few decades ago, pesticides like DDT built up in the tissues of brown pelicans. As a result, the birds laid eggs with shells too thin and brittle to hatch. Many times the weight of the female on the nest crushed the fragile eggs. But a nationwide ban on certain kinds of pesticides helped save these birds. And now the pelican is a familiar sight along our shoreline. Until recently, alligators too faced the threat of extinction. Many of these huge reptiles were killed, and their hides were used for shoes and wallets and handbags. Alligators now are protected by law, and their numbers are increasing steadily. Success stories like these prove that it can be done. Today we have tough laws to protect wildlife, but laws alone are not enough. With rapid environmental changes, a growing population, and a diminishing landscape, it's going to take a widespread effort to preserve Florida's natural resources. In the past, we took these resources for granted, but we've learned from our mistakes. And now we have strong wildlife management programs that protect many of the animals and plants around us. Even the best management programs cannot solve all the problems, though. Public support is essential, and it's up to all of us to abide by the regulations and to respect wildlife. One of the most important ways we can help is by setting aside parcels of land. Here in Florida, we've already made a good start. We have parklands that contain miles of natural habitat. We have national wildlife refuges that protect large areas of land and that are managed especially for wildlife. We have national and state forests that provide thousands of acres of vital habitat. And we have concerned private organizations and individuals who are protecting valuable lands. In public and private sanctuaries throughout the state, we've begun to preserve some of Florida's most important natural areas. In the past few decades, we've lost many of the animals and plants that the early Spanish explorers admired. But we can still make a difference here. We can set aside lands as refuges and sanctuaries. We can manage these lands to make them more attractive to wildlife. And we can establish laws and regulations to protect animals and plants of all kinds. Our wildlife heritage is a treasure too valuable to lose to neglect or destruction. It's up to us to safeguard it for the future. By working together, we can preserve Florida's wildlife heritage.
Before Columbus, the Abenaki Indians worshiped the sun here. Pirates hid their treasures taken from Spanish galleons in this rich tropical forest, a land bathed in warm sunshine and cool ocean breezes. The early settlers realized the importance of preserving man's relationship with his environment. They adapted the natural beauty of the land into a growing, well-planned community. It is today the Golden City on the Gold Coast, Boca Raton. Located on the southeast coast of Florida, between Fort Lauderdale and Palm Beach, Boca Raton is a city of quality and charm. Since it is touched by the currents of the Gulf Stream, it is a perfect resort with an average temperature of 74 degrees. The architecture conforms to the beauty and naturalness of the surroundings as seen in the Boca Raton Hotel and Club. Vacationers began coming here to escape the bitter cold of a northern winter and to enjoy the lush tropical atmosphere. The many resources and conveniences that this area had to offer made it apparent that it would be an excellent environment not just for a resort, but for a year-round home, a place where families, businesses, schools, and churches would thrive. From the most prominent building in the skyline, the 26-story modern addition to the original Boca Raton Hotel, you can see the entire expanse of the city, the Atlantic Ocean and the intracoastal waterway. This waterway runs along the coast of Florida and makes Boca Raton easily accessible by boat without ever having to venture into the ocean. Beyond the waterway are Boca Raton's fabulous beaches on the Atlantic. Toward the west is Boca Raton proper, with its private homes, golf courses, recreation areas, and business district. A short drive from the business district is the Boca Raton Airport. Its 5,200-foot runway handles all types of modern aircraft. People from all parts of the nation pass through here to attend group meetings and take advantage of the city's vacation and recreational facilities. The airport is also a great convenience for national companies with local operations in the Boca Raton area. Boca Raton is the fastest growing city in Palm Beach County. Office complexes, private homes, apartment buildings, and condominiums, many with their own beaches and recreation facilities, are being constructed. At the same time, much care is taken in conserving the naturalness of the environment. Careful planning has led to the most logical use of the land, with great consideration toward the preservation of spacious land surroundings. A prominent example is Boca Raton West, a residential golf course development built by Archival Corporation. Government officials and citizens work vigorously to achieve this healthy environment. The Community Appearance Board is a unique committee established by the city government to improve the aesthetic qualities of all apartment, commercial, and industrial buildings. Additional boards and administrative departments, the city provides zoning, utility systems, streets, and recreational facilities. City officials, in close cooperation with Palm Beach County and state government officials, work to safeguard Boca Raton's appearance and vitality for generations to come. Boca Raton citizens, without government aid, also build facilities that serve the community. The Boca Raton Community Hospital was built solely from private funds raised through the Debbie Rand Foundation. This ultra-modern hospital, with its services and personnel among the finest in the world, is a moving tribute to the community spirit of the city of Boca Raton. The Art Guild was established by the citizens to give an expression to their artistic energies and as a meeting place for those with similar cultural interests. Two churches representing 22 religious denominations were founded to serve the city's residents. These accomplishments of its citizens show that Boca Raton is truly a wholesome family community. In fact, every facet of its life shows the time and care that has gone into its development. Many large national companies have located in Boca Raton within the last decade. They have brought with them the know-how of successful business and created opportunities for the expansion of local trade and professional services. Commuter trains and crowded subways do not exist in Boca Raton. Instead, there are tree-lined streets, even in business sections, and valuable time is not wasted in commuting. IBM is one of the many large companies with branch offices in the Boca Raton area. The company's developmental laboratory here is responsible for the manufacture of scientific and commercial computers. Boca Raton's industries manufacture materials for use in business, industry, science, medicine, and space exploration. Retail shops have adapted to the beautiful climate and surroundings and are situated in one of the most impressive shopping centers in the nation, Royal Palm Plaza. The shops are arranged very much like a Spanish marketplace, surrounding quiet fountains and sun-drenched gardens that make shopping relaxed and pleasant. Boca Raton also provides excellence in its academic institutions that range from kindergarten through college. Both the public and private school systems reflect the healthy atmosphere of a Florida setting. Some of the prominent institutions include Marymount College, a two-year co-educational liberal arts college on 65 acres bordering the western city limits. Marymount has as its goal the development of well-educated men and women, responsible in their attitude toward society. St. Andrews, a preparatory school for boys, attracts college-bound students from all parts of the world. Arvida Corporation donated the original land for both these fine institutions. Florida Atlantic University is an upper division state university for junior and senior students. It was established in Boca Raton by local citizens and public officials. The city provided the 1,200-acre campus. It has academic programs leading to bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degrees, and is considered one of the nation's most modern centers for learning. Nearby these schools are fast-growing residential developments offering homes of all types. There is an emphasis on openness with spacious lawns and gardens. The architecture ranges from colonial and provincial to the Mediterranean style. These neighborhoods provide a healthy atmosphere for family life and leisure, and an ideal environment for growing children. The Boca Raton area is also ideal for a wide variety of outdoor sports. It is a golfer's paradise with 11 courses all within the Boca Raton area. Polo is one of Boca Raton's major spectator sports. During the winter and early spring, top-ranked polo players and thoroughbred ponies engage in one of the oldest contact sports in the world at beautiful Archival Polo Field. Recreation facilities with playing fields, tennis courts, and swimming pools dot the Boca Raton landscape. The Florida sun makes Boca Raton beaches an all-season playground for sunbathing, sailing, and swimming. Boca Raton anglers enjoy two types of saltwater fishing. Inshore, one can fish from the seawall and bridges along the intracoastal waterway. Offshore, through the Boca Raton Inlet, the salt waters of the Atlantic Ocean and deep blue Gulf Stream are easily accessible. Many homes are situated on inland canals that run throughout the city and provide many hours of boating and fishing pleasure. The waterways enhance the tropical feeling of the residential area and make all types of water recreation readily available. Boca Raton is a city for living. It has both business opportunities and the facilities to pursue life's pleasures without the pressures of the large city. A community where, when work is done, recreation and relaxation are just outside your door. A city that has all the opportunities for working, learning, playing, raising a family, and retirement. It is a land of the palm, the sun, and the sea. Boca Raton, the golden city on Florida's Gold Coast, in harmony with its environment.
The exotic beauty of the underwater world holds a fascination that has stirred man's imagination since time began. Explorer, the discovery of this magnificent Grand Canyon in the depths is satisfaction enough. But imagination is never satisfied. With such a fabulous stage setting, why not a show? an extravaganza with live performers. And so was conceived the world's greatest underwater spectacle at Weeki Wachee, Spring of Live Mermaids on Florida's west coast. With a cast of beautiful mermaids in a thrilling performance of beauty and daring. Every one a skilled athlete, every one a star. But stars are not born, at least not in this exacting profession. It's a few short months ago, and Bonnie is interviewed by Thea Jorgensen, who will be her trainer. The qualifications are beauty of face and figure, and the ability to take directions and face long hours of strenuous physical discipline. Once she is accepted, Bonnie's training begins immediately. In the coming weeks, her determination and Thea's experienced teaching will combine to create another mermaid star. Bonnie learns first to tread water with knees stiff. She watches as Thea demonstrates. Then goes under to imitate this basic movement. She realizes the importance of foot flippers to give balance and power underwater. One of the most beautiful routines in the show is the flowing knee-back dolphin. Every muscle perfectly coordinated for smooth, liquid motion. Bonnie will learn to pace herself to match the tempo of her partner when this lovely routine is performed in the show. The ease and confidence of the seasoned performer comes through to the audience in the great underwater theater when she removes the mask to smile. But how can you smile underwater? Let's watch Thea. Very pretty. Now, Bonnie. Not so easy. This time, open your mouth when you smile. That's better. The foot-first dolphin presents a real test of skill in grace and mobility. If Bonnie can master this difficult maneuver, she will prove she has the talent and determination to make the grade. And she comes through with flying colors. After a thorough physical checkup, equipment is issued, and Bonnie is assigned to a cottage where she will live with other girls under the supervision of a house mother. On land, exercise begins to keep every muscle supple and set the pattern for the poised symmetry of motion that marks the accomplished athlete. The care and feeding of a mermaid means balanced menus, carefully planned by an experienced dietitian to assure the stamina and well-being of every performer. Back in the spring for practice in hose breathing. Controlled breathing must become so disciplined that it is automatic. Bonnie learns to clear her ears from pressure by breathing hard into the mask in preparation for the deep dive. Confidence is building rapidly now. Bonnie is ready for the airlock. The huge conch shell submerged 16 feet under the surface on the face of the canyon wall. Here, performers stand in waist-deep water to await their cue to enter the spring. Air is pumped into the chamber under constant pressure. Bonnie watches closely as Thea swims out, performs a dolphin, and returns. Relaxed and confident, Bonnie swims out, alone in the vast canyon, on her own now. Beautifully done. What a thrill of accomplishment for both teacher and pupil. Bonnie's accomplishments will be many before school is out. As her training progresses, she learns to pose for the cameras. The poise she has developed really counts now. As hostess, she welcomes the audience as they enter the huge underwater theater and takes her turn in the control room, announcing and directing the thrilling routines of her teammates. And she must know every routine, like learning that the friendly fish cooperate beautifully at mealtime, but the swift current flowing at the rate of 50 feet a minute makes it difficult to stay put. Eating underwater, and so daintily too. Thea makes it look so easy. It must be all this work has given Bonnie an appetite, and a thirst too. Theo shows her pupil how to relax the throat muscles, swallow, and force the liquid out. Graduation time draws near, and Thea prepares her student for the deep dive to the bottom of the spring 117 feet below the surface, equal to the height of a 10-story building. Inhaling air from the hose, and then forcing air into the mask to balance the increasing pressure on their ears. For every 33 feet they descend, the body pressure increases over 14 pounds per square inch. They fight the tremendous pressure surging up from the spring at the rate of 116,000 gallons every minute. Made it. Now to discard the air hose and come soaring to the surface, but not too fast. Graceful acrobatics, taking time to adjust to the lessening pressure before reaching the surface. Thus, a mermaid is born. The great day arrives, and Bonnie is a star in the world's most spectacular underwater show at Weeki Wachee, spring of live mermaids on Florida's fabulous West Coast.
Most of the true Everglades lies within the boundaries of the central and southern Florida Flood Control District. The king of this watery world is the alligator. He's an ugly beast, and many people fear and dislike him because they do not understand him and the unique contributions he makes to the world around him. The alligator is king because he is the one animal that is absolutely essential to the balance of nature, to the survival of birds, animals, fish, trees, plants, and all living things in the Everglades. The alligator is the one essential link in this chain of life. This is why the symbol of the flood control district is a gator, Freddy by name. The alligator may be found throughout the state of Florida. He is, however, most numerous in the 18 counties of the flood control district. The job of the FCD is to manage the water supply of this area, to control it, to prevent flooding in the wet season, and to store it up for use in the dry season. The FCD gets an important assist from the alligator when it comes to storing water for the dry season. Gators dig holes, which eventually become small ponds, storage ponds, which help wildlife survive across periods of extreme drought. You might say that makes the gator something of a water management man, and that's why the FCD people like Freddy. The Everglades is dotted with small tree islands. Many of these islands started around gator holes, dug by gators with mouth, hind feet, and tail. Around these ponds, willows grow, then other trees. And after many years, an island develops from silt captured by the trees from the southerly flow of Everglades water. Birds live in the trees. Small animals make their homes on these islands. And fish abound in the waters of the gator holes. Wildlife thrives here because there is always a plentiful supply of food. When dry weather sets in, the gator hole becomes a storage pond, a place animals and birds can always turn to find water. The gator hole at this season is absolutely essential to maintaining the chain of life. The deeper the hole, the greater the chances of preserving the life in this tiny universe. Because he is the only animal who can keep the hole free from silt, the gator is the key then to the balance of nature. The gator keeps the garfish population down. Gars are a constant threat to a favorite freshwater game fish, the bass. Garfish feed on young bass as well as other valuable fishes. Gators feed on garfish. Alligators are good, healthy eaters, but they do not destroy other animals needlessly. The gator is not a threat to man, but he should always be treated warily because of his tremendous strength. Unaggressive and retiring, he will avoid contact with man if possible. But when it comes to garfish, he's got a good appetite. It is not healthy to wander in too close to an alligator's nest. The nest is made of grass, sticks, and mud. The alligator, like other reptiles, is hatched from eggs. In late spring, the female gator lays 40 to 60 eggs. The eggs are hatched by the warmth of a Florida summer and by the heat released from the decomposition of the vegetation used in building the nest. The time it takes the eggs to hatch varies widely, depending on such factors as temperature and rainfall. The time is roughly 3 months, so these eggs will hatch very soon now. After the baby gator breaks open the shell, some energetic wiggling completes the hatching. The baby gators are approximately 9 inches long. For several weeks after hatching, the young gators do not have to eat. During this period, they may subsist on the yolk still in their systems. The gator has a trait that is rare in a reptile. She's a good mother. She does not feed the young, but she'll continue to protect them until they are old enough to fend for themselves. They are in danger at this stage of being eaten by wading birds or by any swamp creatures larger than themselves. The young live principally on snails and on whatever else they can catch: insects, crawfish, frogs, minnows. They are voracious feeders and will snap up just about anything that moves. One of the enemies from whom the mother must protect the young gators is other gators. Bull gators are cannibals and must always be driven away. For the first 6 years of its life, the gator grows at a rate of about 1 foot a year. The female seldom exceeds 8 feet in length. The bulls may reach 10 feet or longer, if they live long enough. The alligator is now on the Department of Interior's list of endangered species. This means the alligator faces possible extinction. Why is the gator endangered? When the young gator reaches a length of 4 feet, he has no more natural enemies. That is, except for one, the poacher. The hide buyer is always on the lookout for good suppliers. For a good hide, he'll pay the poacher as much as $7 a foot. It is, of course, against the law to kill alligators, but this is a greedy market. A pair of alligator shoes cost $70 to $80. Alligator bags and belts bring high prices. $7 a foot. So poachers slaughter gators at the rate of more than 40,000 a year. Poachers work at night. In the glare of a light, a gator's eyes will glow ruby red. Shoot down the beam and you'll get yourself a gator. Too many poachers don't miss, and so the alligator is in danger of extinction. If he goes, the gator holes will fill with silt, and the balance of nature at the tree islands will be destroyed. If he goes, many of the birds will leave the Everglades. If he goes, the fishermen will have to look long and hard to find the largemouth bass out in the Everglades. If he goes, the whole life of the region will change drastically. If the gator could talk, he might point out to us that he has survived since the age of the dinosaurs. He's demonstrated a powerful capacity to endure and to adjust to changes in climate and environment. What he cannot overcome is slaughter. Illegal traffic in hides is destroying the alligator. The Central and Southern Florida Flood Control District and Freddie believe that it is imperative that the alligator survive. The rich and varied life of South Florida depends upon him. The FCD is pledged to provide a supply of good, clean water to Central and South Florida, where so many gators live. Please, let's let them live.
Well, here you are with me in North Miami Beach, and I make you welcome. For the next few minutes, you're going to be seeing about this wonderful gateway to Enterama, which is North Miami Beach. You're going to see the moderate-priced homes and apartments. You're going to see the recreational facilities available to you, the educational facilities, all of the excitement of North Miami Beach. Right here at Enterama is the focal point of all the Latin American activities where some 20 million visitors to Florida each and every year will be coming through. We want to make you welcome in this sun-blessed city, and we want you to come visit us the next time you're here, for North Miami Beach is truly the gateway to Enterama.
North Miami Beach, gateway to Enterama, and Florida tropical living at its best. The handsome City Hall combines functional design and imposing architectural beauty. A constantly efficient and progressive city management is keyed to improving its image and designed to accommodate the changing needs of this expanding community. Under a mayor-city manager-council form of government, although young in years, North Miami Beach has established itself as one of Florida's loveliest and most progressive cities. Working hand in hand with the city government, ever alert to what serves the community best, is the North Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce. Spiritual guidance is served to the more than 30,000 inhabitants of North Miami Beach by 13 churches representing 9 denominations, each reporting a phenomenal growth in membership. The places of worship are of varied design and beautifully placed, a source of civic and fraternal pride. Dade County schools are recognized and rated as superior. There are 2 high schools, 3 junior high schools, and 5 elementary schools serving the residents of North Miami Beach. Physical fitness under a warming sun is a definite part of all Florida schools. North Miami Beach has 2 new, modern, and complete general hospitals and 2 nursing homes. There are numerous medical centers where general practitioners and specialists are readily available. Professional services in every field can easily be obtained without traveling away from the city. The excellent banks take good care of the city's business and financial needs. The handsome Lath Allen Memorial Library, dedicated in early 1966, is stacked with some 45,000 books, a testimonial to the untiring efforts of citizens and groups working always for a better North Miami Beach. North Miami Beach is an outstanding leader in the development of utilities and services in Dade County. Its water department has been awarded special recognition by the state for its quality of product, reasonable rates, and efficiency of supply. There's no need to leave the city limits for any shopping needs. The finest and most famous department stores and specialty shops have North Miami Beach locations, with ample parking space for all. Even during the Christmas rush, when Mom has to bring the youngsters for a visit with Santa Claus. Life among the sheltering palms. Date, royal, and coconut. Tropical living indeed at its very best. Homes in North Miami Beach are a housewife's delight, for here, modern design of dwellings and clean, uncontaminated air combine to reduce housekeeping chores to a minimum, and one can enjoy seasonable flowers throughout the year. Only 7 miles north of Miami, North Miami Beach is closer to the Gulf Stream, which brings warm breezes by winter and cooling southeasterly zephyrs in summer. The climate is most ideal for outdoor living and sun play, with numerous tennis courts for the amateur or professional. Golf is in abundance, with public, club, and hotel-owned courses in and around the city. Shuffleboard comes in for a top share of popularity. With water everywhere, the ocean, lakes, and pools are a year-round delight. Grinnell's Park, in addition to its lush green golf course, is a fascinating playground, equipped for picnics, fishing, and boating. And this old fort, of picture postcard beauty, stands on the highest ground in southern Florida. The World War cannon is a sightseer's favorite, as is the 171st Street Fountain and the North Miami Beach city limit sign. The 163rd Street Cinema is one of Florida's most modern theaters, offering outstanding motion picture attractions and occasionally a world premiere. The drive-in theater can accommodate 800 automobiles at a showing. Probably the most complete motion picture studio and laboratory between New York and Hollywood is located at the southern city limits of North Miami Beach. The Wax Museum here is on the preferred list of main Florida attractions. The old monastery is a picture book charm, reeking of old world lore. It was removed stone by stone from its continental abode, transplanted and reassembled where it now stands just off Dixie Highway in North Miami Beach. Beautiful Gulf Stream Park, where the thoroughbreds run, is next door, as the expression goes, a mere few minutes away, with water skiers, sailboats, and a paddle wheeler adding to the color. But as always, the Wynn Place and show horses are the main attraction. Two dog tracks, Biscayne and Hollywood, are 5 minutes by car north and south of North Miami Beach. And the greyhounds really pack 'em in. Highline. In popular appeal, the fastest growing spectator sport in Florida is a mere 10 minutes north. For that most fascinating sport of all, at least to the wielder of the rod and reel, fishing is comparable to any in Florida, from piers, inland lakes, canals, and, of course, the thrilling deep sea. Land a shimmering dolphin just once, and you are a deep-sea fan forever. This fascinating pictorial beauty is a fighter to the last shimmer. North Miami Beach operates 6 parks on a full-time basis, boasting 2 swimming pools, one an Olympic size with separate 17-foot diving pool, and the only 10-meter diving tower in Florida. One of the state's largest and newest marinas is in North Miami Beach. In addition to the large public ocean beach nearby, there are lakes, canals, and the Intercoastal Waterway, a boating and sailing mecca, less than 10 minutes away from any place in North Miami Beach. North Miami Beach's level of financial independence and obvious stability has made it one of the bright spots of Southeast Florida's real estate picture. Rental apartments, new homes, city and commercial buildings are continually under construction to accommodate the needs of an expanding population. The motel strip on North Miami Beach's oceanfront is a fascinating array of colorful architectural dreams, catering to a capacity tourist trade winter and summer. Poolside fun runs rampant, and if one likes salt water with his or her son, the ocean is a mere hop, skip, and jump away. Almost every one of the motels and hotels, along with the many famous nightclubs on Florida's Gold Coast, offer fine food in diversified appeal with top-rate entertainment. During the winter season especially, many of the world's most talented stars appear live in extravagant shows featured at the numerous night spots. Downtown Miami, with a sunset to match its moon, is easily accessible in minutes by expressway or US 1 and A1A highways. Visitors to North Miami Beach often time their vacations to see extravaganzas such as the King Orange Parade, a festival of national scope. The Orange Bowl offers residents and visitors tops in football, with outstanding teams from the Big Ten, Southeastern Conference, Southwest, and top independents, as well as AFL professional football. The Miss United States Beauty Pageant is a month of May area attraction. Girls, truly from the curves of the earth, compete for the coveted title of Miss Universe, a spectacle viewed by millions on television and by Telstar. The famed Monkey Jungle is a year-round attraction. The beautiful Parrot Jungle, with exotic birds from South America, is a family delight. The glamorous flamingo is a colorful part of the tropical picture here. The renowned Seaquarium, famous throughout the world, exhibits trained porpoises performing almost unbelievable acts. North Miami Beach is reached by Federal Highway Number 1 and State Highway A1A. The Florida Turnpike has its beginning and terminus at North Miami Beach. Plush train accommodations serve the area. And the busy Miami International Airport can be reached within minutes by expressway. The gateway to Interama was selected for the first out-of-state presentation of the New York World's Fair Dinosaur Exhibition. And with reference to Interama brings together under freedom the governments and industries of the Americas in a spirit of goodwill to provide a continuous exchange of cultures, idea, and people. Yes, North Miami Beach is an exciting place in which to live and to visit. Nearly every week is filled with sports activities and cultural events. Southeastern Florida has long been lauded for its agreeable climate, with average temperatures of 75 degrees in winter and 82 degrees in summer. North Miami Beach residents find not only continual comfort, but enjoy better health and a longer life expectancy. Everything that makes southern Florida an ideal place for your winter or summer vacation, or for your lifetime of living, is at North Miami Beach.